to the Feminist Frame Special Edition, Game of Obsessions. We're podcasting week to week every episode of the final season of Game of Thrones. I'm here with my co-host, Olivia.
Hi.
And we're ready to dive into episode 4 of season 8. And kicking off this episode, we are definitely back to politics.
Yeah, I think this is really what Game of Thrones does well, so...
Yeah, the existential threat is over, and we're back to conniving and what, really made this show famous in the first place.
Right.
So, yeah, at the beginning... Well, rip all of our dead. Theon and Jorah and Lyanna Mormont and Ed.
Rest in power, people.
Especially Lyanna.
Oh, it's so touching. So touching to see them all say their goodbyes again.
Yeah, I really, especially that moment with Theon and Sansa putting the Stark brooch on him. Really, kind of naming him as a Stark. Mm-hmm. Definitely just instantly made me tear up.
I know. I was just I honestly was not expecting so much emotion out of the Sansa Theon dynamic. I never really feel like I felt that strongly one way or the other. And then this season, that's where just I think all my emotional energy is going. It's just it's so heart-wrenching.
I really didn't know I was gonna ever have any feelings for Theon again.
Right. Other than you're just a little bit pathetic now.
Right. And this season, yeah, I really love the arc and the redemption with Sansa and those kind of emotional points. And I guess they're just burning these guys for good measure at this point. Just double tap, make damn sure.
Keeping with traditions, still, maybe?
I guess.
Can't break that tradition.
Just in damn case.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of these bodies. I guess they don't really want to bury all those people anyway, but I just thought that was funny. Is I usually get mad, in zombie movies when they don't double tap or make sure that they're actually dead, and they're like, no, we're burning these bitches.
Getting them out.
They're out.
I guess for practical purposes though, I think that a giant bonfire would probably go faster than just digging ditches in the frozen ground.
Yeah, so. No kidding. So, and then we do have a little moment with Jorah too and Dany, kind of the last truly loyal person to her, and she whispers something kind of inaudible to him, and that's a pretty big blow to her as we're moving in and she's trying to take this throne. And she does a little conniving herself. She awards Gendry Storm's End.
Oh, yeah, trying to get, herself some allies by pulling favors.
Yeah, and then also maybe just, thwarting any attempt he might make for the throne and, listen.
Right.
I'll give you Storm's End and go have fun with that. And he's like, yeah, I was a bastard who never had anything. So
right. You're poor, I'm giving you something. You'll probably just thank me and then be on my side. Be an ally.
And then his first move as a Baratheon is to get rejected by a Stark. Really father, son.
We've talked about before how these Game of Thrones plot lines like to come full circle.
Yeah, with the lineage things. Yeah.
So that's another one. Lyanna squarely rejected Robert time and time again. And yeah, that's repeating itself now.
Yeah, I, really? Did you really think? I just killed the Night King. I'm not going to Storm's Inn with you.
I absolutely 100% love that they've kept Arya sort of true to that. She's never going to get married, or be a lady of a house.
Right.
And it's just nice every time you see that where... I don't know, you're a great guy and everything, but, I'm never gonna do that.
Yeah. And I think, I did ship that for a long time, but I just thought it was something gonna be always teased, but she's like, no, I got other stuff to do.
Yeah. Just want to make sure this is clear.
There's still, a queen or maybe queens who need killing, there's people left on her list. She talked about sailing west of Westeros. Like, she just has way bigger ambitions, and we're here for it.
In her, yeah. Like, even whenever, like, all of the threats are cleaned up, like, she's still not gonna settle down. That's just not who Arya is. No.
So, but everybody else in this scene is just fucking and drinking because, you know, you're alive. Congratulations. That's what I would want to be doing, too.
I was a little, I guess, taken aback at how long just the party scenes took up of this episode. But
yeah, I was kind of like, we only have 3 more of these. Yeah, like, you got to move along. 2 after this.
So my favorite part about the whole thing, though, was the people watching. Like, a lot of the actual dialogue that was spoken, for a good chunk of it wasn't even really that important. It was more about, like, how people are, like, watching and observing each other.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And, like, there's the scene with the Starbucks cup in it.
But the famous Starbucks. Man, talk about free fucking advertising. Yeah. Like, somebody was like, who's on the throne at the end? Like, Starbucks, apparently, because they're getting the most out of this.
Oh, that was... so... I didn't notice it while I was watching the show.
No, I didn't either, but it was all over Twitter.
Yeah, I actually meant to try to rewatch it in time before, like, HBO could erase it out of there because I wanted to spot it, but alas, I have not. But yeah, so that scene
where they're all praising Jon.
Though. Yeah, and it's just like, you know, the actual words that are being said are, you know, semi-important, but, like, what's more important is, like, Daenerys' observation of, like, how these people are reacting to Jon. And
well, and, like, he has all these friends and people who love him and really fight for him, and a lot of her people have been dwindling, as we're also going to see later this episode. But yeah, it is like, you do have that little bit, you know, it's like every woman who's been in a meeting where some guy suggests the same thing that she just said 5 minutes ago and gets a bunch of credit for it. Yeah. No, Dany's been riding a dragon backwards and in heels for fucking years. Yeah. And, but they're all like, Johnny boy. Yeah. I still love Tormund, but yeah, I that frustration that on her face definitely resonates, you know?
One of the actual critiques I've been seeing is, and we'll dive in, I think, a little bit more later, but in general, just this, like, people that are upset about, like, Daenerys' stories and where it's going. And, like, that scene in particular, like, oh, they give Jon all this credit and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, but that's the point. Yeah, because then you see her, like, reflect that. Like, the show's not giving all the credit to Jon. The show knows Daenerys has been doing this the entire time. They're not just, like, trying to, like, push her in a corner. They're trying to show, like, her reaction to, like, everybody else.
And she looks lonely in that scene, right? Like, Jon's, like, standing around with, like, 5 friends surrounding him and patting him on the back, and no one's, you know, hanging out with her.
Right.
She also maybe doesn't seem like, she kind of seems like a wet blanket at a party also, to be honest. She's very serious. Like, she doesn't look like she could probably, like, pour some ale and walk over there, but that's not what she wants to do. And even she just wants to plan to take the throne.
Gendry, the, you know, start of the scene, really, whenever she looks like she's about to, like, threaten him some more and throw down, and people are like, what did I do? You
I know? Thought that's what she was doing when she first started talking to him, and I was like, Jesus, like, clearly give it a minute.
She just doesn't have, like, the most, I don't know, like, social skills at a party.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. She's just very serious, you know, which is respectable in its own right. There was, speaking of dialogue, though, like, a little Easter egg there where Tormund says, what kind of person climbs on a dragon? A madman.
Or a mad woman.
Yeah, a little foreshadowing there for the storyline that I think they're actually doing. I think we're getting Dany Goes Banana theory. Which is interesting, and we talked about this a little bit last episode. I know a lot of people don't like it. I think it's much better, like, the foundation is better laid in the books.
Yes.
For
100%
this
agree.
happening, and I don't think the show's doing a good job. It does kind of feel like they're just throwing this on you, and they're going to pull it off in 2 episodes.
I will push
or not pull it off
a little bit on that though. Like the show doesn't do as good as a job, but I think they do like put this stuff out there.
Yeah,
you know, like it's not.
She's been burning people for a minute.
Yeah, like last season. Do you remember her?
We've been on
season?
our side. Doesn't mean that burning people isn't fucked up.
Right. And I don't know, I think that just the way the reactions here are is, I don't know, people feel like they're doing Dani a disservice. And just like what you're forgetting about is the other like insanely powerful female characters that we have. You know, they're kind of sort of putting all their frustrations in like, you're treating Dani this way because she's a man or she's a woman and you're giving all this credit to Jon. I'm just like, have you guys forgot about Arya and like Sansa?
Right.
Like I know Sansa's not your typical, like why does Cersei and Daenerys get all of the love for being like these powerful women that are leading the charge? They're vicious, they're ambitious, they take what they want, and they're going to get what they want. But any of the females that are still insanely powerful and carry so much sway, i.e. Sansa, that
and is still ambitious too.
Yeah, still ambitious.
Because I think that's the part that doesn't sit well with people. It does feel like this like stereotype of it. An ambitious woman can't be trusted. You know what I mean? But we do have other people in the show that are repping that. So
and I think
it's not the only version that we have.
Yeah, like, and Sansa takes her character has always been a more, I guess, stereotypical approach. Like, so she's not embodying these, you know, male characteristics of like dominance and whatnot that some of our like other powerful female characters might have. So honestly, I think it's a little sexist that people
that she doesn't get more credit.
Yeah, like
because
she's an amazing leader. She's out there in the planning committee. She's asking the smart questions. She's the one that like has thoroughly like outthunk a lot of these folks. Whenever she brought in the folks from the Vale in the Battle of the Bastards, saved all of those wildlings and Northmen. Like she's doing a kick-ass job, and I think that like people aren't crediting her enough, and meanwhile they're just being upset at, you know, the disservice to these other characters.
Absolutely. I do want to talk about, speaking of Sansa though, on the like not happy with the writing, maybe because it's written by men though. I did not love that scene with her and the Hound.
It was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, that line was fucked up, Dan and Dave. Nope. I did love like when he asks about Ramsay and then she says like she references like how she took care of him was hounds, you know, and like a little bit of a nod to him.
Right.
That was a beautiful moment. And then it was immediately, you know, turned on its head by her sort of, if you don't remember, he asked about her being broken in, which was not a great way to bring that up. And then her saying basically that had to happen for her to be who she was, which has a lot of not great implications, and like giving credit to what she's done to the worst thing that's happened to her isn't really fine. I mean, people obviously grow from experiences, but it just, I've seen a lot of articles come out like, nope.
Yeah.
You can absolutely say I've grown as a person and all of your experiences are going to be a part of that, but the way it was said was not great.
And that's I think where I'm coming at it. Like, I was just like, well, it could have been said
you could say the same thing differently, but not say...
To deny that you've been changed by, like, what has happened to you in the past is, you know...
No, but that's not what made you who you are. It's like how you reacted, how you
deal, and how you grow.
Not some shitty dude and what they did to you.
Right.
Yeah. It was... Right. It's a very delicate wording, and it's a very, you know, delicate subject.
Right.
So it's important to word it correctly, and that was just not a great line. It was really felt like yeah, a man wrote this, basically. But yeah, we did have also on a lighthearted, like that drinking game between Tyrion and Podrick and Jaime and Brienne, which is a nice little like callback to Tyrion really loves playing this game where he guesses things about people.
I do love that it keeps coming back.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he does it like kind